Hello and welcome back to Star Realms Arena. This week's arena mission is to... Hello and welcome back to Star Realms. This week's arena challenge is that if you play 2 or more factions on a turn, you end up getting 3 extra damage. This really helps speed up the game by getting more damage and helps you prioritize more damage-based decks rather than, say, scrapping decks for which damage is a counter. So, we need money. We also need damage. Right now, our only choice is Econ cards. So if you look at the cards available, we have Coalition Freighter, which is good. It's really good if you want to ally with other things. We also have Mobile Market. We're definitely going to go for Mobile Market. Simply because it gives us 2 money and it will stay in play. So we will draw this hopefully on turn 3, maybe turn 4 at the latest. And it will just be able to give us constant money while we have it in play. I don't think anyone's bought any damage-based cards, so it should remain in play. Alright. Coalition Freighter is probably the best one I can think of because it's got ally abilities. And it also has 2 factions on it, so it'll give us 3 damage. Everything else here, like the farm ship, would be useful. The orbital gun platform would also be useful, but it's not really going to help us as much as that card. So we now have 6 money. Don't have any expensive cards in the trade row, but here we go. Boom, one just turns up, get it, done. They are probably going to go long hauler on this turn, if they have the money for it. They also have a bit of scrap, so it's something to keep in mind that their hands will get better as a trash cards in the deck. They will definitely get the Unity Fighter. Alright, what do we want? We've got basically a chunk of damage, mostly econ. Of course, the base is in the next hand. Alright, so I'm probably going to say go long hauler. We do have some green. It doesn't have any ally abilities, so you can see it just does 10 damage here. The Blob Alpha only does 10 damage. It doesn't do anything more. So we can get the Stinger. It gives us a bit of damage, and if we apply the other Blob card, it will give us some more damage. The other option here would be to get the Trade Star and hope it allies, but it does no damage. It only gives us money. Because we already have 2 cards that are blue, if we were to get the Frontier Runner, it would ally really nicely with those other cards. So we have a lot of blue. I'm going to do... which one do I want to do here? Stinger's going to really help us. When we check the enemy deck, they have 2 bases, so we really need to get some good damage. I'm going to go Stinger just because we need the damage right now. There's now a patrol boat on the trade row, which will be a really good fit for our deck. Chances are they're probably going to buy it because it's one of the few cards that gives damage, and they really need damage right now. So we'll see what happens. Alright, they've got 6 money. If I had that, I would probably go something like patrol boat and then get this captured outpost. Boom, again the captured outpost. Are they going to go patrol boat? Yep, they go patrol boat. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Now this is tricky because we don't have enough damage to take out their base. We also don't have enough economy to buy the Federation Cruiser, which is something I really want. So we do have the special ability. We scrap this. It goes into the scrap pile and then it goes into our discard pile at the end of our turn. That would be a good thing to do, but then we don't get 2 money for the next few turns. That being said, they're probably going to do enough. Can they do enough damage? They can't do enough damage to get rid of that base. So if I leave in play, it will definitely be around next turn and the turn after, which is going to be essentially a lot of money. So it's not really worth us scrapping this base at this time. I'm going to probably go farm ship because it's more money. It allows me to draw a card and discard a card, which allows me to filter out cards. And I can't do anything with that damage, so I end my turn. Now, if we look at what we have here, we have got a lot of money coming through. So we can grab that. They're scrapping the Federation battleship, which is a shame. I would have definitely have bought that. They've only got 4 money. They do have 9 damage somehow. They must have scrapped a card and I didn't see that. Oh well, never mind. So we only have a piddling 7. Now this is tricky because we can get this card here, which is very powerful. They'll be discarding cards and I can scrap cards, which should be really good. Or I can go for damage and life. So that's, if you look at this, it gives us 5 damage as well as 4 life. So that's a difference, a total difference in their life to our life of 9, which is significant. Not to mention if you ally, that difference goes from 9 all the way up to 11. How much blue do I have? I only have 2, 3. I have 3 blue cards, so it's a pretty powerful card for my deck. That being said, this base will protect me from a lot of damage and will also help me to do some scrapping. But if I look at the amount of life I have, I don't have that much life left. I've only got 36 life. So as much as I would like that base, I'm probably going to have to skip it. That being said, I also have the long hauler's ability to trash it and buy this base and put it on the top of my deck, which means that I will be triggering a scrap thing and this will be scrapping. I'm going to do it. I'm going to scrap this. I'm going to buy this. And I can't do any damage this turn, so I end this turn. Now look at my hand. Oh, okay. I do not have the 1 card I was expecting to have in my hand. So I don't have the allied ability this turn. Never mind. That's okay. They have got 2 very good bases in play, but I am going to be doing 16 points of damage, which will destroy both of their bases. Let's just have a quick look at their hand, their deck. They've got a fair amount of damage now, a fair amount of econ. So they're going to be doing a lot of damage now. So we really want to make sure that we try to get a lot more damage cards now. Alright, let's get rid of an econ card. We want to get rid of an econ card because we're really focusing on damage, so scrapping a Viper at this point in time won't help us. Let's get rid of both the bases with damage. Attack them. Boom, boom. I'd really like that patrol boat or that packed pod. The packed pod gives us econ and some damage if it allies. The crush is also pretty good here because you can see 6 damage to money. We don't need money. This here is good. It gives us a difference of 7, and then if it allies, it gives us a difference of 9, so we're definitely going to go for that. The stinger here, I'm going to trash to get enough money to get the patrol boat. So we're shifting from a green deck to more of a blue deck now, which is good. We do have a bit of deck bloat going on. We have about 16, is it? No, we've got 15 cards exactly, which is not great. Okay, they're going to take out our base, which is unfortunate. I was really hoping to have that around. However, we will have 6 money. So we can, they're probably going to buy the Crusher now, I suspect. Maybe the Pack Pod, but probably the Crusher. No, they're going Pack Pod. Okay, interesting. So we play this, boom. We got option of getting a base, Crusher. We definitely want damage, so I'm going to go for Crusher. There's nothing else we really want on the trade row at this time. We could go for a Blob Miner, but it gives us economy. We don't want economy. The scrap ability, scrapping a card on the trade row with this card is not useful at this point in the game. It may help us control the game a little bit, but it's not enough to actually really significantly help us. So there's nothing we want to buy. It's better just to attack for 4 points of damage and end the turn. This turn coming up, we've got the farm ship in our hand, this card. So it really will help us discard the scout and draw another card. They're doing some damage to us. They're gaining some life. Things are looking a little bit grim for us. Yep, we're down to 15 points of damage now. It's not great. They've got quite a lot of health. So I probably made a bad decision earlier on not to buy that particular card. Oh, perfect. We get the Blob Alpha, discard the Scout. Boom, boom, boom. 17 points of damage, 18 with that, boom. Now, this one here, I think I'm going to scrap the farm ship because it gives me economy. It doesn't really help me. If I scrap it, even though it does allow me to cycle a card, it slows down the ability to get a damaged card in my hand. So much rather trash it, attack them. Okay, how much green do I have? I have 2 cards that are green. The Moonworm Hatchling might be useful. If I look at the cards I have, they all have a base. They have 3, 4 bases in play. This is worth it. I can use it to destroy a base. I could do this, but there is no point in trashing the mobile market base that we have in play, because when we look at this, all you'll get is a Scout. So I'd much rather have this in play, and they have to do 4 damage against this to destroy it. So we end this turn right now with an effective health of 24 when you can take into account the base we have in play, which is great. All right. We have this one here. Put the next ship to the top of our deck, which is really cool. It's not a base, it's the next ship. So I could use this now, scrap this and draw a card, and the chances of drawing a decent card are high. But I'd much rather leave it there, and instead, because I know that there's a high chance of base coming out, I'm going to go for a Moonworm Hatchling. It will combo. It might be a really bad idea to do that, because the Moonworm Hatchling here doesn't exactly do a lot of damage unless it allies with a lot of green cards. But given all the rest of the cards we have, I think it is worth it, because I suspect they're going to have a base next turn. We could buy some other stuff here. The only thing I'd really consider buying is Iron Station here. However, we would have to have 2 other blue cards ally with it before we get any damage or health. It is an outpost that will give us 5 damage. You need 5 damage to destroy it, which is useful, but overall, it is not as effective as having a card played that does 5 points of damage. So that's where we're about to leave it in this turn and see what comes up. Like, we've got a pretty good hand here. Annoyingly, we do have both Moonworm Hatchlings in this hand, so unless I play 2 bases this turn, which is possible, one of those Moonworm Hatchlings won't be destroying a base. That being said, we do have enough green cards to truly ally, and we will be doing about 18, 19 points of damage this coming turn, which will be really, really good. Now, interestingly, they are trying to figure something out. They're discarding a card. Okay, they had 2 bases or 3 bases in their hand. Wow, okay, so this has actually worked out really well for us. They are doing some damage against us, but we have our 2 Moonworm Hatchling cards in our hand, so we can destroy 2 of those bases. So, let's get on with this. First of all, I'm going to play this. I'm going to scrap a card in my hand or discard pile first. I always do this first because sometimes when I play cards out of my hand, it may trigger a reshuffle, and that reshuffle might mean my discard pile disappears because it gets reshuffled into the draw card pile. When that happens, it means I can no longer scrap cards. So generally, I scrap cards first before I play my other cards. So I'll play this. Destroy target base. I'm going to pick the base with the most defense. In this case, this one. This one here. Destroy target base. Again, pick this one. Boom. Now, I will have to use damage to take out this here. Boom. Done. I have 19 points of damage. I win the game. I was surprised. I expected us to have to go another turn. At least at the end of this game, we had 17 health, effective health with our base in play, which was a decent position. They could have one-shotted us quite easily as well. So a close fought game, and our little gamble did pay off. when we went and decided to get some of those more risky cards. So thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next game. Please let me know if this was useful for you, and if you enjoyed watching me play, because it motivates me to make more videos like this. So thank you. Hope you had fun, and see you in the next game. Bye.